Okay, the saga continues with Donald Trump, and I like to make these videos because I don't make any money from these videos. YouTube doesn't give me any money. I make these videos because I'm passionate about what I say, and I'm passionate about what I feel, and I'd like to exercise my First Amendment right to talk and speak freely, and I'd also like to just to utilize technology, which is YouTube, which I think is the greatest form of communication on the planet. And use YouTube to say the things that an ordinary, everyday person would say. I mean, I don't make any money from YouTube. I've never gotten a YouTube check yet. I don't even monetize all my videos. I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in saying things that I believe and things that I think. And I think everybody should. I mean, I encourage everybody I talk to have a YouTube channel. And that's the way the world works today. That's what people should do to be able to express themselves. So I'm expressing myself through YouTube. And of course, what I like to express is my distastefulness of Donald Trump and how I'm so disgusted that the American people could fall for this con man. Donald Trump says things all the time that people want to believe that aren't true. One of the things he says is how rich he is. How do you know how rich he is? He won't disclose his tax return. He won't make his tax return public, and that's completely under his control. He could do that. He could do it today. He could do it now. He could have done it when he started running, but he won't do it. Now, he won't do it for a reason. There's got to be a reason. And the reason is he doesn't want you to know something. What is it that he doesn't want you to know? I think one of the things he doesn't want you to know is not nearly as wealthy as he says he is. I know a lot of people that live wealthy that aren't wealthy, and Donald Trump could very well be one of them. He could be a person that just is extravagantly living but doesn't have much in the bank account or much to show for it. He always says that the most valuable asset he has is his brand. Well, I'm sure it's very valuable, but you know what? I don't know if it's worth the money he says it is. And if it is, then prove it. Put it out on a tax return. Won't do it. The second thing Donald Trump says to you all the time is that he's an outsider, that he's draining the swamp, that he's going to free you from all these entanglements, all these people that have been in government for so long, that have been doing all this nefarious stuff to the American people and taking advantage of the American people. But now that the guy has become the president now, since he's went through the Electoral College, who does he bring on his cabinet? Goldman Sachs and ExxonMobil. Sounds like outsiders to me, bringing in a wealthy group of people that he says now are going to go to work for you instead of the corporations that they used to work for. Instead of working for ExxonMobil, Rex Tiller's going to go ahead and Tillerman's going to work for you. Now he's going to make you wealthy instead of ExxonMobil. He's going to take over the State Department, and somehow you're going to benefit from this. You're going to be wealthy because Rex Tillerman's in charge. And he's made ExxonMobil billions of dollars, and he's made himself hundreds of millions of dollars, and somehow he's going to make you some money. If you believe that, if you believe that these guys are coming aboard and they're to do nothing but to enrich the American people or make the American way of living better or make their American standard of living higher, you got to be crazy. You got to be crazy. These people aren't going to be working for you. They're going to be working for the same entities that they've always worked for. But now they're going to be able to do it a lot easier because they don't have to go through all the red tape that they used to go through. Because now, instead of having the public protect the people from these monsters, now they're going to be in control of that. So like I said in one other video, you let the fox in the hen house with Donald Trump. You let the guy that wants to take advantage of you and rob you in control of the public. The only protections we really have against these kind of people, you let now take over. So Donald Trump is now in charge of the government, of which should be there to protect you and I from people like Rex Tillerman. And now Rex Tillerman's in charge of the State Department, and Goldman Sachs is in charge of the Treasury. I cannot believe that we had a Goldman Sachs person in charge of the Treasury. I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe it. And this guy thinks that, it's back to the days when they had, I can't even remember what that guy's name. Oh, with the bailouts, the guy from the Goldman Sachs. The banks get in trouble. So what they do is they go to the American public and say, we need a bailout. And basically the idea is if you don't bail them out, that the economy is going to take a tank. It's going to go tank because the banks are got so much. It's almost like back when I used to be a farmer. They'd always say the more money you borrowed, the more the banks had to work with you because their banks didn't want to go under too. So if you borrowed thousands of dollars from the bank, they could foreclose on you. If you had to borrow tens of millions of dollars from the bank, they had to work with you. Well, that's kind of the way this was. they figured the banks were too big to fail, so they had to have the American public go in and bail them out. And so that's what's happening again. You got guys like those guys that were the part of the bailout coming in now and running the State Department and the Treasury. So Donald Trump's a big rouge. And what disappoints me is the people out there that voted for him. The other thing about Donald Trump I'd like to point out is he thinks he's got the mandate of the people. He doesn't. Last time I checked, more people voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump. And the other thing, too, is, a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. A lot of people don't like him. He just thinks he's people right now have just bought into him. And I get it all the time. I get a lot of people tell me how much they dislike Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is probably one of the worst things that ever happened to the United States of America. He's not going to do anything for you and I. It's just not going to happen. And if you want any evidence of that, just look at the way the guy tells you stuff that isn't true. And just look at the way the guy runs, what he's doing so far, how he's operated so far. Brings his kids aboard to take advantage of key positions. Brings Goldman Sachs aboard, in charge of the Treasury. Brings ExxonMobil in charge, guy in charge of CEO of ExxonMobil, in charge of the State Department. And you think somehow things are going to change, could be different, be better? Yeah, right. Thanks for watching.